There is no such thing as free anything on an airline. Once you understand that, you can understand Spirit's business strategy. Spirit Airlines was founded in 1983 as Charter One Airlines by a trucking company in Michigan. The strategy of Charter One was to provide charter flights and travel packages from snowy locations, such as their Michigan headquarters, to vacation destinations, including Atlantic City and Las Vegas. It was all charter flights. They first began offering scheduled flights to Atlantic City in 1990. The company added discount used planes to their fleet during the weak economy of the early 1990s and was renamed Spirit Airlines in 1993. The company headquarters were moved to Florida a few years later, and even today, Florida is by far Spirit's busiest region for destinations and connections. The company grew and began operating international flights in 2001, and today Spirit serves 63 cities in 18 countries on 2 continents, plus a sea full of islands. But not everyone loves Spirit. If you're watching this, you probably already know that nearly everyone complains about flying on Spirit. So what led to the company's massive growth and profitability? The answer comes down to a deliberate and successful business strategy. When Ben Baldanza was hired as Spirit's CEO in 2005, he shifted to a cost leadership business strategy. He said, "We decided we were going to run Spirit as an airline that competes on the basis of price and price alone." You can find more on cost leadership and other business level strategies in the description, but here are the basics and how Spirit implemented it. First, cost leaders commit to beating competitors on price, but that requires trade-offs. You can't lower price if costs are still high or you lose money, so you have to find ways to cut cost. Because of this, cost leaders have to find ways to cut service and quality. Examples of cost leadership include cheap burgers at McDonald's, assembling your own IKEA furniture, and bagging your own groceries at Walmart. Lower quality and reduced services save you money. Spirit committed to a cost-cutting strategy, and it shows in their service and comfort. Even the seats are cheap. One way Spirit saves money is a streamlined fleet of all Airbus planes. A streamlined fleet means that pilots, flight attendants, and mechanics are more familiar with different planes. It reduces complexity, and that saves money. Another cost-cutting measure is the seats themselves. Spirit seats don't recline, they have less cushioning than other airlines, and they are crammed as close together as possible. It's basically a flying bus. See the similarity? The CEO once asked, "Why would I put fewer seats on the airplane than the airplane could hold?" While this is one of the major sources of customer complaints, uncomfortable seats is actually one of the ways that Spirit keeps its fares low. Having smaller seats squished closer together puts more seats on the plane, creating economies of scale and leading to lower fares. For every inch closer that Spirit puts seats, they can add another row of seats on the plane. The CEO of Ryanair, an ultra-discount airline in Europe, said if he could add 2 rows of seats in the back of a plane, he could reduce fares for everyone.
If I can get rid of the 2 toilets at the back of the planes, I can add 6 extra seats. With 6 extra seats, I can lower everybody's airfare by another 5% all year round.
And Baldanza agrees with Ryanair's CEO. He's run the fastest growing and most profitable airline in Europe for the last 20 years, so he's clearly doing something right. And for passengers who care more about low fares than they do about seat comfort, it seems to be working. Yet another cost-saving measure is a low advertising budget. Spirit spends less on advertising than any of the other major airlines in the US, but that doesn't mean that their advertising is not effective. Spirit has used edgy and even controversial advertising as a way to generate media attention and free press. Even the planes are colored to catch attention. Spirit gets to spend less while still getting attention, and it all reinforces Spirit's low-cost position in the industry to potential customers. But cost-cutting is not the only way Spirit makes money with a low-cost strategy. The other piece of profitability is revenue, and Spirit got creative. First, they unbundled traditional services and introduced the Bear Fare. The Bear Fare included a seat. Only a seat. Turns out the cost of the seat alone is not that high. But for anything other than a seat, you can pay more, adding to Spirit's revenue. Spirit charges for food and drinks, choosing a seat in a better place on the plane, a larger seat, printing boarding passes, checked bags, carry-on bags, pets, priority boarding, unaccompanied minors, and bathrooms. Just kidding, they aren't charging for bathrooms yet. All told, Spirit passengers pay an average of $137 in fees. That's not exactly budget-friendly, and it adds up to a lot of revenue for Spirit. In fact, Spirit generates more revenue from fees than it does from ticket sales. Spirit's CEO said, "We're a very high-frills airline. We just charge incrementally for each of the frills." Unless you can pack everything you need for a weekend getaway in a backpack, once you include all of the fees, Spirit can actually cost more than other airlines. And you still get that cramped, hard seat. But Spirit still gets a lot of people to pay because the base fare is so low. Spirit understands what those passengers are looking for. Of course, traveling on Spirit is not everyone's travel preference, and that's okay. I think finding ways for people to travel more often and more affordably is really important, and it gives people more options in their life. But things are changing at Spirit. In late 2022, JetBlue agreed to purchase Spirit Airlines for $3.8 billion. This may seem surprising at first because JetBlue once had a reputation for quality and comfort. Granted, that has slipped in recent years as it now ranks just above Spirit for passenger complaints. However, JetBlue is still widely considered to provide a more comfortable, higher quality travel experience than Spirit. So what will JetBlue do with Spirit Airlines? One option could be to continue operating Spirit as a separate airline targeting a lower cost tier of passengers, but that does not appear to be their intention. After the deal closes, JetBlue plans to retrofit Spirit planes into the JetBlue fleet, adding more comfort and amenities to passengers. This will add to operating costs, and that is likely to result in higher prices charged to passengers. According to William Kovacek, a professor at George Washington University, Spirit might not be an elegant experience, but they are cheap. Kovacek recognized that Spirit's low fares help keep fares at other airlines low as well. If they disappear as an independent enterprise, is that going to remove a source of downward pressure on price? I think it would. Will Spirit become part of a higher service airline at JetBlue? Or will JetBlue adopt the low-cost carrier strategy that has been so successful at Spirit? Personally, I hope the ultra-budget carriers remain in the industry so that it provides competition and more options. And Ben Baldanza might agree. I think the US air travel space, the North American air travel space, is better with a Spirit and a JetBlue and a Delta than if there were only one airline run like any one of us. So even if you choose not to fly with Spirit, some price competition could be good for you and everyone as well. There are a lot of strategic lessons that we can learn from Spirit Airlines. For one, customers line up to pay low prices. Baldanza once said, "No one gets surprised when you go into McDonald's and don't see filet mignon on the menu." There is a place in any industry for a low-cost provider. Another lesson is to be creative. While I might not personally recommend some of the marketing schemes that Spirit has tried over the years, they have been effective. Wendy's is also known for creativity in social media marketing. Surely there is room for creativity in your business and your industry. But a bigger lesson is that a company should choose a business strategy and commit to it. Spirit committed to competing on cost, and it led to years of profitable growth. What business strategy should your company pursue? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to learn more about business, strategy, and the people involved. Are you still here? What company strategies would you like to learn about next?